What's up, guys? AskCaine here to hopefully start a very cool, interesting series that I'm not sure if it will go anywhere, but I would like to think it might. Uh, Throughout the whole time I'm doing this, I've been asked a lot of questions, and I thought it would be kind of a cool idea, even though I'm always answering those questions for those specific people, to answer those questions on video so that more people can see the answer rather than me specifically talking to that person, whether they private message me or ask me a question in the comments. So I thought what I could do is start a AskCaine series. That's the name I came up with. Just kind of winging it, seeing if this works or not. But I thought it'd be pretty interesting. Now, right now, if you specifically would like to ask me a question, you already thought of one for this series, don't put in the comments. I think it would be a lot easier if for this particular series, because it'll be a little easier on me. If you do have a question you want me to ask on video, whether it be serious or silly, you just want to hear what my answer is going to be, email me at chriscanemail@gmail.com. That'll be in the description. So I thought just to start this series, I would answer a question, two questions that I've been asked the most. And this first question is something I don't think I'll cover in one video. Might have to be like a part two, talking about it more. But I get asked a lot, how do you start a Let's Play channel? I would really like to start one. Do you have any tips? Do you have any, how do you do it or whatever? First of all, I'm going to try to give as many suggestions as I can that isn't always the same as other YouTubers say. I see YouTubers give Let's Play advice, and it is true, but it's always the same. It's you have to have fun with it. It's something that you want to do. Play newer games, which I'm like, yeah, but and also, if you plan on doing this and want to succeed, do 2 videos a day and stuff like that. So that's what I keep seeing, and in a way I agree, but at the same time, um, Let's Playing is something that I used as a way to just kind of get my mind off of my life. I don't hate my life, but I work a lot and I come home and I watch YouTube a lot, and then that's usually my routine. And I like to be productive. I was very active in school, where club stuff like that. But school's over. Um, and all I do is work, and my job isn't too thrilling, but I make the best of it. Um, so and on YouTube I usually watch YouTube like TV. I barely watch any shows unless it's with my parents. Stuff like Pawn Stars, stuff like that is really fun. But other than that, I can't get myself to watch TV by myself. Usually, I'll either be on Crunchyroll or on uh, YouTube watching Let's Plays. And watching Let's Plays all the time, it made me realize that it might be something I would be interested in. And there are a lot of cool tutorials on YouTube and stuff like that. And I wouldn't mind making a few tutorials myself, but a lot of people have different things, and also you got to understand is that a lot of people have way stronger PCs, so some of the stuff that they'll teach you is stuff you probably can't do or whatever. And it's very expensive. It can be. I mean, this microphone costs $50. You don't need that fancy one, although maybe I'll get one way in the future, but I don't see the need for it. um, you need a really strong PC. You can't play a lot of these newer games that have high graphics, stuff like that. So that's why I play on console for some of those games if I do. But the main thing is that it's something that you want to do, and it's like a hobby. If you want to, nowadays, the way YouTube is, I feel like back in like 2008 or 2009, that's when Let's Players were starting to become a thing, and people like PewDiePie and the Rad Brad and all those other YouTubers, um, they kind of started doing it. They were posting new games online, and people were watching it, and more people were into it. And those channels have grown, and now they're very successful, because they started when YouTube was very Let's Players were a new thing or whatever. So getting into Let's Playing now and trying to be successful, trying to be famous. Like I said, I never did it to be famous, and that's why I feel like the mindset has to be that you don't want to be famous, you don't want to be rich, even though they actually don't get paid that much. Although the megastars, the million subscriber ones, yeah, they're making bank, but they're not making millions of dollars. I happen to know that through research, if you do the research. But it has to be a hobby. And when I'm watching these YouTubers, specifically the Rad Brad and the early days of Markiplier, I realized they're into game. I was always watching them play games that I could play, that I was interested in, because I'm watching them all the time, and I thought, yeah, I could do that, and it'd be kind of fun. And also, I had a lot of ideas in my mind as to what my channel was going to be, and I knew that I wanted to be a channel that was different, because I see a lot of small channels that play the newest games, and the thing is, when you have channels like the Rad Brad that started in the very beginning and played new games on release date and played them, and that's what he does. For a new channel now to do that, realize that people are most likely going to watch the Rad Brad because he's the guy. And for you to become the guy also, it's, you kind of have to be a little different. You got to bring something new. And, the way I run my channel is that, a lot of YouTubers, when a new game comes out, your whole subscriber feed is like the same game, basically, Until Dawn, all those games. And I thought, I'll be the channel that has something different. I can not play that game and watch some other YouTuber play it, and then I'll play something different for those people who want to watch something different. So that's kind of how I based my channel on. And also, my whole thing was I wasn't going to play games that people have probably already seen a million times, like Ocarina of Time and Symphony of the Night. Although, as the channel progressed, and requests are coming in, a lot of people wanted those two games, and I eventually played them because they were heavily requested. And that's the fun thing about YouTube. But you have to set a foundation first that, and that's like saying if you want to grow, but the thing is, you want to do it because you really want to. And right now I feel like I'm blabbering about, but like I said, I'll have to make a part 2 in case there's something I didn't elaborate on. But like I said, to get into YouTube now and to think that you're gonna do it full time, you might start slow, because I went into YouTube personally. I feel like I went into YouTube with not the right equipment, not the knowledge, but I've gotten way better. I've been doing it for like 3 years, and I figure out new things each day. And and if people are curious, the recording software I use now, which works the best, even though people could probably request better things, but I'm used to these things because they've worked for me, is Fraps and OBS. And for for recording games outside of recording the game, like microphone, I just use I used to use Audacity, but that was causing me problems, so I just use the built-in microphone sound recorder on Windows 8. I don't know if Windows 10 has it. Hopefully it does when my computer forces itself to update. I don't know if that's also a thing, but hopefully not. I was going to say, it's such a weird question, but like I said, I hope I at least cleared it. As far as like how to do Let's Plays, I've seen, Nico B is another channel that I like, that he does like parts hour long. Some people like longer videos, or you could be that YouTuber that does 15-minute videos, well, like on a daily basis. So it's, you're getting a piece of the game every day, or you're getting a whole hour every other day. Pretty much is all up to you and what works for you. Don't feel pressured to use a system that another YouTuber uses that you just don't have the time for. So, and like I said, do it as a hobby. Do it because you want to. The hiccup's awesome. Like I said, it's all really up to you. But don't expect success overnight. build your channel to be, and I said this before, make the channel represent you. Play the games that represent what you're interested in. Don't just play games because of a fad, because you feel like you have to play this game. When it comes to new games, what I've realized now is that, if this game looks awesome that's coming out, whatever it is, but you don't really know what the game looks like, don't buy it on day one, start recording, playing it blind, because you don't know what that game is, because sometimes you might find out it's a game you might not like, and no one wants to watch a Let's Player who is playing a game because, they're kind of forcing themselves through it, not enjoying it, clearly not enjoying it, because commentary shows it. And one thing I will talk about, so wait a little bit, look at reviews. There's no harm. Day one videos, they don't do as well, in my opinion, because, like I said, you have YouTubers like the Rad Brad that already has that taken care of, and they're going to watch their playthrough. But, like I said, just give it a few days and look at reviews, find out the game works, because a lot of PC games that come out, they have problems and, stuff like that. Don't waste your time. Do research, pick your games accordingly based on your personality. That's what I've been kind of doing, and a lot of games that I play, in the very beginning I never had any intention of playing, but I find them very fun because of the fans that suggested these games. And like I said, I generally play adventure games, and usually with certain adventure games, sometimes you're going to play something you're not used to, but sometimes diving in a game that you can play, like visual novels, stuff like that, RPG Maker games, like I said, but do your research. Find out exactly what the game is first, because if you find out it's something you don't like, that's going to be bad. But, just like I said, you just kind of learn what works and what doesn't as you go on. So try your best and do it. So I hope I'm saying it right. But as far as commentary, like I said, when I went into this, I knew in high school I was a very sarcastic guy. I made people laugh, and I'm not one to, brag about how awesome I am. But, like when you think about this stuff, you go, yeah, you know what? I can be pretty funny. Like I said, you kind of have to bounce off the game and the story. If a game has no story, then you have nothing to really talk about unless you make stuff up, improv and stuff like that. So, that's another tip. But like I said, if you guys have any other questions that I didn't cover, feel free to email me on chriscainemail@gmail.com. Another question I was asked is like what YouTubers do you watch? And the funny thing is, with being a YouTuber now, and like when I work and I come home and I record stuff or whatever, but when I do have that free time, I don't watch as many YouTubers as I did before doing this, because all my time is in making videos and editing and stuff like that. But certain channels that I watch now are Harshly Critical, which he's he and his friends you got Manly Badass Hero, you got Mr. Craven, all those guys that I feel like are really down to earth, and they play games that I'm into and stuff like that. And sometimes they'll play a game that I might let's play first, play it, and then watch them play it. And also Two Best Friends Play is a channel I've been a fan of ever since they started in like 2012, I think. And they showed me that a channel can be successful and not always play the newest games. Sometimes they'll play games that they're very interested in, or they have played before but haven't been played in years, and they do it for video, and it just works. They play a variety of games, which encouraged me to play a variety of games too. But I really enjoyed them. But back then I used to watch PewDiePie when he was early, Markiplier when he was early, but like I said, they kind of switched to what they feel is better version of themselves. They were when they were smaller, they were more down to earth, and and I'm trying not to speak bad about them, but like I said, it's not bad. They're just more hyper, I think, what I'm trying to say. Back then they were a little bit calmer, and they were themselves, and now they're just they kind of elevate that when they press record. So, and it works, but for most people now, but not quite. I'll check out some stuff, but that's about it. 15 minutes, okay. But Other than that, I always like checking out smaller YouTubers and see what they got going on, and I love how I press record and I'm drawing a blank, but you know, like I said, I like giving other YouTubers a try, and you find some really cool people, and I usually follow them on Twitter. So I guess if you want to, you can go to my Twitter and look at the followers and get a general idea. But other than that, I hope I answered some questions. Like I said, this will be great if I have a little list to go off of. So hope you guys will like this series. I think it'll be a fun idea, and to interact with you guys more. I don't know how often I'll do these. Depends on how quickly the questions come. So maybe this could be a weekly thing. I don't know. But other than that, like I said, if you want to get into YouTubing, you don't really need much unless you really feel like you do. But don't spend a lot on this. Like I said, I have a little cheap webcam. I have a $50 microphone, and I'm having fun with the games that I can run. I know what I can and can't run and stuff like that. So work from there. If the channel blossoms into some big thing and I can afford all this other stuff, I'm still going to be the same person and play obscure stuff and whatever. But I'll tell you what, I don't play new games. I could, but I don't play new games because they're popular or whatever. But if another Evil Within kind of game comes out, I'm playing that. But other than that, try not to be the same as everyone else. That's basically the advice right there. So, other than that, I hope you guys like this kind of video. Kind of long, but anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day, and hopefully I'll hear some questions or whatever. Anyway, all right, you guys have a good one. Take it easy.